back and welcome to the We Only Do One Take podcast. It's the only podcast that is a complete shit show. I thought of that on the holiday. It is episode 19, season 2, the first episode of
season 2, episode 9. Well, it's really season 2, episode 1.
That's true, but continuation, episode 19. With me, as always, is the voluptuous Kieran.
Voluptuous. Ooh.
I said lovely last. I'm going to try and make a new word. I'm not making words, but I'm saying, describing you.
You're increasing your vocabulary.
I'm very much trying.
And we're off to a great start.
Yeah.
This feels really weird because we've got some technical issues. I'm not wearing any headset.
That's right.
And it just feels really weird.
So, Kieran, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
After a very short break, and congratulations on the golf game. What a golf game we did.
We had a fantastic golf game. Probably the best golf game I've ever played. And I think I can still count the amount of golf games I've played on one hand.
That's pretty amazing.
Thank you.
That's it. It's only because either you're too drunk to remember the other ones, or we've only played less than 5.
And people need to check out the clips on our Facebook page.
Absolutely. I've been working very hard.
Because, well, excuse me, the talent's over here. Because the shots that I took and got in that golf game.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing. And I think I probably even won that game.
I'm going to say yes.
Thank you.
That there were amazing shots. And no to the winning. And with us is a guest that I've been trying to get on here on a recommendation from a very close friend of ours. I've been trying to get these guys on the show for so long it's almost ridiculous. But please welcome professional cosplayers. I think I can say that.
Wow. Yes.
I can say that without any hesitation.
Do you know what the problem? Do you know what the problem
Can I
is?
introduce them first?
No, hang on a second. Shut up for a second. No, I want to point this out just before we introduce them. They're professionals.
They are.
Right. So that means they get paid. Right. We are now into season 2. We don't get paid yet, so we're not professionals.
Look, all I'm saying is the CEO didn't start up the Patreon while I was away.
Talk to the boss.
Yeah, I know, right? This is how CEOs get fired. But anyway, here they are, professional cosplayers, Cienan and Heidi. Woo!
Hello. Thank you.
We'll put some sound effects in.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It's all in post. It's all, just give it to the intern, right? So thank you so much for finally taking time out of your massively huge schedule from your exhibition. I can't talk today. Exhibition. Thank you very much, Kieran, at the Melbourne Museum. From memory.
Yes.
They just came back. These guys.
What was that?
They've got an exhibition at the Melbourne Museum.
No shit.
Dead
really?
set. That's why I wanted to get them on.
Oh,
No,
wow.
thank you.
From doing that to doing, from what I just hear, some exciting news. They might be on a national television show very soon.
Yeah.
This is what these guys are doing. That's why I wanted to get them on, Kieran. But welcome to the show.
Did I tell you
Thank
that this
you,
is a
thank you.
professional podcast? We are professional volunteers.
No, yes, I can see. Sat right beside the gym.
Yep.
It's very convenient.
Comes with a free gym membership this season.
Wow.
And the only time that'll ever happen. But these guys, look, I did a little bit of research because that's what I do, and I pass the notes on to you, and then you don't read them. So these guys here...
Excuse me, hang on a second.
As all good interns do.
Hang on, let's wind it back a second. Sorry for cutting off, Cienan. I think this is very important. Notes were sent to me last year.
Yes.
Last year or earlier this
Last
year?
season, yeah.
Whatever. Which I read. I did read them.
Yes.
Because you sent me about a Facebook page and the Instagram page.
That's right.
And the ABC article.
Yep.
Something to do with the ABC.
Oh, yes.
See?
Yes, I remember.
And the SBS one. And the one...
Yes, I remember the SBS.
On digifox.media. And,
Yes.
And...
But I haven't read it before this show.
and Kotaku as well.
Because I couldn't find the link.
Okay. But these guys have been everywhere doing what they do best. And...
Well, trying.
Succeeding. I look at that sort of stuff and go, how the hell does that happen? I can't sew to save my life.
So this is the thing. I don't know cosplay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So can I be informed of cosplay? What it is?
I will hand this over to the creative one.
We're both creative in our own way.
You're a bit more creative than me.
Oh, guys, stop making out over there.
Get a room.
Get a different room than our studio. So what is cosplay? Because I think some of our fans out there might not know what it is. I have...
Especially our American fans.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess the most logical way I can explain it is that cosplay is a abbreviated version of costume play. So it's this idea that not only do people dress up like Halloween kind of thing, so they put on a costume of their favorite characters, but you're also embodying what that character is. So if they're a villain, you're suddenly this wicked evil being. So you've got to think, how would they walk around being evil? How would they speak to people? How would they address each other? Yeah, that's kind of probably the best
It's almost
way I can
getting
put it.
almost not just putting on the costume, but getting into the character, like almost like acting while
Yeah.
you're doing.
Exactly.
It's pretty much acting.
And where does this mostly occur? Like, if I was going to go, hey, I'm going to go hang out with some cosplayers.
I once went past University of Melbourne in Parkland or whatever it is called. Park Melbourne, Melbourne Park, whatever it is. And people were playing Dungeons and Dragons.
I think
that-
this is completely different.
This,
It
it's
it
a
can
little
actually
different.
connect in because
there you go.
especially with things like LARP, which is live action role playing.
That's it.
Yeah, so people, a lot of those people make their costumes as well. So they're creating their own character, they're embodying their own, what they've created themselves as being a character and having actual sword fights and things with foam pieces. So it is, honestly, it's another form of cosplay.
Yeah, and I suppose you can find LARPers and cosplayers at major conventions such as Supernova,
Yep.
Oz Comic Con,
PAX.
Yeah,
There you go.
it's a growing thing in Australia, but
Conventions essentially have grown massively, even in the, how long have we been going? 6 years since we started going. So I think we first started going, our first year, there was only 2 conventions in Melbourne.
yes,
There's now something like 12.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, once again, I'm in awe that I'm here with professionals. But I went to Comic-Con once.
Oh, you did too, because you met Will
Shatner.
Shatner. Yep,
Yeah.
I remember that.
yes,
And he looked like a wax figurine.
He did.
Well, you know what? We'll get back to this cosplay thing, because I've got a whole bunch of questions.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
even got some other stuff I have to ask. them.
no, I can see all of the notes.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
But Kieran,
Yes.
it's time to start to get on with the rant, and this time I have a
I always look forward to the rant.
the rant,
The rant is always a good addition of the podcast.
well. I just got back from a cruise with my family, and you think, yep, he's going to rant about family cruises, and all that sort of stuff, and the family members. But I love my family, and me and my dad actually drank all the beer of a certain type of beer out of the whole ship. It was just us two. I'm sure it was, because no one else was drinking that kind of beer. So well done, my dad and I. We were the drunkest idiots on the trip.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
As Australians, I expect nothing less than rowdy Australians overseas.
It was more about my dad eventually talking in Italian, and it was him just yelling at people. It was great, and I love my dad. That's why we get along so well. But what I hate most...
You're going to have to give me some survival tips, because I've got to go with my family
Okay.
in less than a week on a
Yep.
holiday.
Get drunk. It's really easy. What I love most about people in general is how petty they can be. And this is what annoys me more than anything. This is what my rant is about. It's about people who feel like they're entitled to everything. And I'll give you a very good example. We are drinking a beautiful scotch at the moment, and I bought this on duty free.
And once again, I feel a little bit guilty because they're drinking Aldi beer, I guess.
Room temperature.
See, if you did not mention that,
They're quite welcome to the scotch.
yes,
And I was in the duty free shop with Jess and this and that, and I'm just looking at it. I'm like, I'm going to buy this bottle of scotch. I'm going to bring it to the podcast first episode back. And what do I hear in the corner? These older ladies complaining about the price of chocolate. And I'm thinking to myself, so this lady's yelling at the attendant behind. The 2 ladies are yelling. Mm-hmm. They're going, "Why is it so expensive? Rah, rah, rah. What? This in Australia would be $3." And I'm like, geez, I better, maybe I'm getting ripped off, like buying like booze. Like, is this actually cheap?
Because you're in international waters.
Yeah,
there's
international
no tax,
waters, no tax.
no finances. If you're playing bingo, I'm sure they've ticked off a few already.
That's right. No tax is how it should be, right?
That's it.
Government intrusion. There you go. Another one for the bingo. And I thought, okay, what are they complaining about? Why? What is so much cheaper in Australia than on the boat? And you know what they were complaining about? The price of a Cadbury bar of chocolate.
Okay. Well.
And I'm like, the whole ship, you can have any type of food on the ship. It's already paid for, like everything.
Can you have chocolate on the ship?
You can have chocolate.
Can you have Cadbury chocolate on the ship?
You can have
At a price.
$10 US a bar. But you can have anything else. You can have
So you can't have chocolate, but you can have anything else.
everything else. Yes.
Aha. Well, look, from a business perspective, that's
Very
genius.
clever.
That
Very
is
clever. Exactly right.
Yeah. Supply and demand.
But I'm just like, if you're complaining about the price of chocolate because you really need some dairy milk in your life, you know what? I think that maybe you're just a little bit too entitled.
Do you know what?
You have it really too good in Australia.
Do you know what?
you're paying for?
They're idiots.
Yeah. What you're paying for when
there's a reason why they're idiots. I know this is your rant.
No, it's good. Get in there. Fire up.
But you know why they're idiots? Because they didn't bring chocolate on with them. Or they didn't bring enough supply.
And they
When
could've done
I
that.
go overseas, especially to Vietnam, I've been there a few
Tick
times.
it off, buddy.
I stop at duty free.
Yeah.
And I better tell the guests some work related things over there. And I always make sure that I liquor up at duty free because, you know, it's actually it's cheaper in Vietnam, but you're not quite sure of the quality. So it's better to get it in Australia. So I liquor up and I also snack up and off I go. And I am set. And I don't have to pay the ridiculous, you know, $1 for the can of Coke I'd actually buy the $1 can of Coke because it's like 5 cents on the street. Yeah. But I don't have to spend like $2 for the alcohol in the minibar because I've got my bottle.
See, that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
So these ladies should have brought chocolate with them.
But going on from that, I've also got a family member story that
dear.
was about entitlement. And this is where, I don't know about you guys, but you have like family in your family that's not really family, but you still call them your uncle, but he's not really your uncle. He's sort of like so far distantly related, but he kind of knows the family enough. Keenan is actually smiling and going, I understand what's going on.
I know the guy.
Yeah, it's sort of like they've come from Italy, like not fresh off the boat. We're talking fresh off the boat about 60 years ago, but he still only speaks in Italian. Mm-hmm. Or he only speaks with a thick Italian accent or complains about things in Italian. I will do that accent later because I don't do the story justice if I don't do it like that. But he's the type of wog that just goes, I don't need to listen to anybody else because I'm always right. I know that's what you're looking at me like that's what I am, but that's a different story.
Look, as the CEO of this podcast, I'm always right.
Well, look, the first thing was that he wouldn't eat with us. Now, what Jess loved the most, he said English sayings, but he sort of couldn't get them right. Like, Jess's favourite was, he comes up to us and is like, oh, how did you sleep last night? Because like, the boat's rocking. And he goes, I slept like a piece of log. Then he complained that the ship had nothing to do.
Mm-hmm. You're on a ship. Of course there's nothing to do.
No, there's heaps of stuff. There's heaps of activities. There's lots of drinking you can do. There's lots of, there's shows in the evening. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Like, there's lots of stuff to do.
Expensive chocolate.
Yeah, expensive chocolate. Yeah. Like, there's trivia and there's like, there's game shows you can go on. There's
It
bands.
sounds like a retirement village.
It was
They
great.
are.
Yeah.
Having been a month, they are.
Yeah. If you want to see some old lady boobs and drink a lot, you're in the right place. That's all I'm saying, right? Anyway, so I said to him, hey, like, there's a big list of things to do. Like, they hand deliver it, like, on your bed every morning.
They hand what?
They give you a list of things, like, all the activity stuff. They put it on your bed, like, the night before so you can have a look at what you want to do. Just have a read of that and find something you want to do. There's got to be something you want to do. And he goes, that piece of crap, I just rip it up and put it in the bin. I'm like, so you're just ruining that for yourself. He went to the captain's area. The captain's, like, on the, like, like a certain deck, and he's looking... And there's a big
The captain would invite people like CEOs up.
Yeah,
there.
exactly right. That's exactly
So
right.
you'd be more than welcome.
That's right.
So,
I'd put my suit on.
He's coming back on the podcast, isn't he? So he's gone up there, and there's a big sign, massive, like we're talking huge, and it says, "Do not knock on the captain's door." So the only thing he does is knock on the door, and apparently they were going to put him in
jail.
in jail.
Yeah,
They have
he's
a
like,
jail.
they're going to put him in the prison. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I knock on the door. It's a free country. I'm like, you're in the middle of the ocean. There is no... The captain is the king. All right, now. But finally, my favourite one is that it was formal night. Like every I think the second night on the boat and the second last night on the boat, you suit up. You have fancy dinner, this and that. So we said to him, "Hey."
So were the Australians wearing their good thongs?
The good thongs, yes.
okay.
Yeah. And we're like, okay, suit up and that. And he's like, I'm like, oh, you're gonna suit up for the event? And he's like, I could wear the suit any day I want. I'm like, yeah, but that's... Anyway, so my rant is about entitled people, and I just feel like this gentleman who's my family, but not really my family, but enough for me to joke about him as much as I want. So anyway.
Although it is those sort of older generations, I do appreciate, because they just don't give a fuck.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. See, that's the thing, our family came from Italy, so it's my mum and dad's home, and they're polar opposites. My dad's side, assimilated into but didn't, a lot of them, hung around basically just Italians the whole way through. My mum's side really assimilated, my nonna took up, a football team to watch, my nonna made friends with, she really learned her English, she did all this and that. So almost polar opposites. And it's really interesting to see the diversity in that. And I'm sort of stuck in the middle, really just enjoying old wogs yelling at people, and it's just really fun.
Oh, that's one of my favourite things to watch on YouTube.
You've been watching my
I love
YouTube
that
channel.
Yeah.
That's mine, isn't it?
There's that kid that pranks his nonna or whatever.
I've got a story about my nonna I'm going to say later on because
Okay.
it relates into a story. But if you would like, Kieran,
Yes.
let's start off with an article with you, and then we'll chat to these guys a bit about their sort of cosplay.
Well,
sort of
lucky dip. 1, 2, 3, or 4.
3.
3. All right.
4 it is. That was not the right answer. Try
Try again.
Did you say 4? 4 it is. You know how we've talked about robot sex dolls?
Are you gonna? Okay, I know where you're going with this. Yes, that was our first episode.
No, you can't just
Just
say
open with
and
that.
just
Okay, so
mention it like it's a usual occurrence.
yeah, it is on this podcast.
You haven't listened to the first podcast,
episode.
have you?
No.
Our
No.
first episode began with the robot that is in Saudi Arabia who can legally drive and vote and walk around and stuff like that without a hijab. It's a female one.
That's like borderline what's it? Terminator?
Sarah Connor.
like Sarah
Yeah.
Connor kind of
Yeah.
going
I was
on.
thinking more like iRobot.
And then we found out that she wants to start a family, which was the next week, which is really weird. Are you going to say to me that she can now walk?
She can now walk.
Yeah, did you see that?
No.
No, they've given her legs and now she can walk. Holy fuck.
I didn't realise she couldn't walk.
No, yeah, she could only sit there and not move too much, but now she's been given...
Given
Yeah.
legs. Wow.
Yeah,
And then before you know it, she'll be demanding half.
that's right. Anyway. And Heidi's given everyone the biggest greasy...
It's a dog.
Hiya.
It's a dog.
I'm on her side.
It's fine.
Robot rights.
It's a robot.
Anyway.
Equality.
And then the next sort of
Equality
thing...
for robots.
We talked about sex robots, and these sex robots have, working parts, and they talk to you and stuff like that. Remember we talked about that? It was a couple episodes...
Robot sex doll inventor claims it has improved his marriage.
Wait,
Continue. Improved his marriage.
Improved his marriage.
explain, yes.
It's like an open
obviously
marriage?
this is a different robot sex doll inventor to someone else because it's from Catalonia.
Okay.
That's in Spain, I
It
believe.
is in Spain, yep.
And I believe they're having a revolution over there at the moment.
Well, yeah, Barcelona just lost to Roma in the Champions League. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right, there we go. Where were we?
Catalonia.
Catalonia. Right, sorry. I've just jumped all over this article. Sergio Santos, I think,
We only do one take.
is a little worried about what will happen when they've built a male robot.
Okay.
Welcome to We Only Do One Take. Well, and he says, and want to keep the passion in a relationship, maybe try adding a robot sex doll. That's the recommendation of the Spanish inventor Sergio Santos, who created a sex doll equipped with the latest advancements in artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah, Samantha is designed to respond to gentle seduction. As a result, the 39-year-old electrical engineer said that the Bossomy bot, it's a bit bossy, allows him to get sexual release when his partner of 16 years isn't in the mood. A man wants to feel in general that the woman is desperate to have sex with him, Santos told some news reporter. And if a man feels like that the woman will not enjoy sex fully, most men do not like the sex, and this is the cause of many sexual problems. Thus, the sex robot. The sex robot
Where
sells.
do I begin?
The sex robot sells for between $2,834 and $7,000.
So this is just a masturbatory aid that says, "I really like it."
Yeah.
But wait, if it's got AI, can't it? It can obviously think for themselves.
Kind of.
So
As AI advances, I think then the sex robot might go, "I'm not in the mood."
yeah,
Yeah.
It might think
That-
for itself and just go terminal.
What if she becomes not in the mood? Like,
Oh.
what do you do then?
That's when you get the male sex robot and you sort of seduce it. You know, you just let it go. You know. So $2,000 and I get myself a sex robot. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So
So what? The general escort goes for what? $200, $300.
it's a good investment, long-term
So,
investment.
Long-term investment.
I think we actually talked about this and we said we'd start a sex robot brothel.
Yes, we did.
We did.
And
we
we're
just said
really
we-
freaking
Oh,
our guests
no.
out.
No. We're
don't
thinking
like
out one of our
this.
favorite TV shows right
this
now.
is bordering Westworld.
Yeah,
okay?
Westworld.
Yeah. Would
Yeah.
you just hose down your sex robot brothel, or what would you do?
These things require completely deconstructing and like reprogramming every time they get their business
Down
done.
This is the kind of thing like just put a USB in the back, right?
We can't say
Just
fuck.
recharge
We are
it.
on the internet.
Yeah,
Fuck,
you
shit,
can swear all you
shit,
want.
shit.
Yeah, that's impressive. Like I love the fact that the only way
He's
lot
worried
of
about having a male sex robot.
yeah, that's right.
He's going to pleasure his wife better than him.
The only thing that's progressing a lot of technology, especially in this AI space and like even virtual reality, is the porn industry.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were talking about this last time, how a lot of all those right-wing gun guys are going to go to Pornhub to host their videos because YouTube won't do it.
Yeah. That's the thing. These right wing people have been taken down off YouTube, so they've now gone to Pornhub to put their videos up.
Oh, so is that why Trump's always on there?
Oh well, and that's why I'm always on there. That's why I'm always on there, Jess, to watch gun videos.
Yeah, that's it.
What type of guns?
That's none of your business. That's a private matter. So we got some very special guests here today, and I thought that we try to get into the minds of these people because I feel like we should do some. The closest thing I've ever done to cosplay is play a gig with the cliches in a full morph suit of the Red Power Ranger.
Yes, I
Counts.
remember that.
Does that count? Oh yes, I've cosplayed.
I have dressed up as Santa Claus before.
I mean, were you pretending to also be Santa Claus?
Were you jolly?
Yeah.
Oh God, no! I was
Look at him.
depressed.
Then you don't count.
I had to be cheerful to kids. Nah, that is
Just holding his sack.
Maybe you were the Grinch without realizing.
Before we get into this,
Yeah.
let's top up the beer. Well, we need another beer.
We need another beer.
Need
Okay.
another
Yes, beer me.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back after these
We
short
don't-
messages.
Plays hold music.
Tonight's podcast is brought to you by Tasmanian Heritage. That's Triple Cream Brie, a rich, buttery, soft white cheese. That's Tasmanian Heritage Triple Cream Brie. That's what we feed our guests here on the We Only Do One Take podcast.
That's actually quite a good one.
And an Aldi beer.
Hey! That's also what we give our guests.
Santi Etienne
God damn it, Kieran.
Premium Lager.
God damn it, Kieran.
Is it French?
I don't know. How do you say that?
Santé Etienne.
Yeah,
That one.
Okay.
There you go.
Cosplay.
I thought that was someone running on the bottom, and then I realized it's someone pregnant. I'm like, don't drink while you're running.
Don't drink while you're running.
Or pregnant. Or don't run when you're pregnant.
I actually found out the other day, and I thought I was a genius. What? that
I know you too well.
that Aldi sells these clip things. So in case you don't have a gold coin, you take the clip thing off.
Oh,
you
yeah,
keep-
like
Oh,
the
yes.
carts.
I've
Wait, they
seen
sell
this.
them? We give them for free at Coles.
Oh,
Just as like a
No, yeah, they're like $2 or something.
Yeah.
99 cents.
Yeah.
And they don't work with the Coles one,
Mm.
Yeah, it's only for Aldi.
but only Aldi. But I was like, I'm a genius. I'm like one of the first people to buy these because they've never been out before.
Oh.
And then it turns out they've been out for years.
Yeah. This is like when you discovered PayPass. So, Kieran,
Yes.
these guys, like I said at the start of the show, are professional cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
Cosplayers? Cosplayers.
yes.
I didn't want to sound like too much of an idiot. That's one thing I should have looked up and I didn't.
Okay.
So, let's bring it all the way back. And how did you guys start cosplay? Because I'm sure...
No, I'm going to start.
Oh,
Turch.
God.
And I don't know how to phrase this without not making it sexual. What cosplay costume turns you on? Not
Is it what character
like
would I want to see him as?
Well, let's
Oh,
go
what
there
do I
too. Let's go there too. But I was thinking like, what's your favorite? That's it. What's your favorite sort of like you know when you're in the moment, like obviously when.
Are you asking what do they cosplay in the bedroom?
No. And I said I didn't want to go sexual. No, I wanted to go with
Okay, just outside the bedroom.
Okay.
outside of we'll get to the bedroom later. Outside of the bedroom, what's because when I don't play a musical instrument, but there's a band. I'm a music appreciator, and there's a band, and they do one of these songs, and like you sit there in the audience or stand in the audience, and then you end up in this like other world, and you're just like, wow, this is amazing.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, as a cosplayer, do you get into that like you're so into character, so like so part of it, like this is my favorite character, or this is my favorite.
Oh, so someone we've cosplayed ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to go first? Because now I have to think I've got a lot more than you.
Yeah, you have like
Too
10
many.
on me. Or
10?
something. Yeah. Oh, 2 million.
Right to the mic, mate.
Probably, I'd say a recent one I recently cosplayed was Bishop. He was an X-Men.
Yeah.
He's an indigenous superhero. I put a lot of effort into that one.
Let's just for our audience, because this is an audio show, not a visual show. Keenan is also Aboriginal Australian.
Yes.
So, and that'll come into the story later. That's why I wanted to start with how did you get into it?
Can we not get bogged down with details? Let's get into the juicy stuff,
All
right? And then we can peel it back.
So the bedroom. Not yet.
Right, if we want to start there, look, I don't mind where we begin.
So Bishop from X-Men.
Yeah, so I put a lot of effort into that cosplay. I did my research, as all good interns do.
God damn it.
Yeah, so that was probably my favorite, and I guess it really got me in the moment.
Yeah.
During a lot of my cosplay photo shoots and stuff like that.
There's photo shoots?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's photo shoots.
Yeah.
I was going to say you should see
If my
these-
phone was charged,
I was going to say you should check out these guys' Instagram, which we will link
I've
to.
checked out Keenan's Instagram.
Yeah. Heidi's is, I reckon, no offense, Keenan, even more impressive.
I focus mine on cosplay, whereas Keenan does his on kind of
Yeah.
all-round life, whereas
Yeah.
I try to make mine specifically on my cosplay brand.
So let's go on that. What was the question again, Kieran? What
turns
really
you
got?
Well,
We've already discussed my Pornhub habits.
I think I need to kind of separate this in two different ways because outside of cosplay for about a year there, I was working for a kids party company. So I spent a lot of time being Elsa from Frozen. So I got into that mindset.
Did you let it go?
God damn it!
I can't let it go. The cold still bothers me too. So I spent a lot of time getting in that girl's head. So I feel like I learned to embody a lot about her quickly because I had to when I was in these situations with little kids wanting to be like, they would drill you about questions about people in the movie and you'd be like, I don't know. They'd go, oh my God, what's your sister Anna doing? And I'd be like, she's at home baking cookies. But quickly, I was learning quickly to come up with like 10 or so kind of background stories I could have for other characters who weren't there with me.
Quick
so I could quickly come back and
Anna's
still
with
see
Shaniqua down at the shops.
Yeah,
You know?
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just gangster rapping on the.
Yeah.
But I'd say like outside of that, I think the character I most feel connected to when I've cosplayed them and who I've probably done the most is Rey from Star Wars.
Right.
I did a
New character as well. That's like a
quite
fresh...
new. I actually made the costume. We didn't even have a second trailer to the movie out when I started making that costume. We had the first trailer drop and one promo image, which was just her face and the staff covering half of her face up. That's all I had to go from. And I went, we are getting a female lead in my favorite movie series of all time. I need to do this.
That's cool.
Wow.
I even, I've got a really good friend of mine who's a photographer who's now in Tasmania, who we both did a trip down to, I think it was down to Mornington Peninsula somewhere. We found a beach in the middle of nowhere essentially, and we did a photo shoot and made it look like Jakku. And he did some amazing Photoshop for me and made it look incredible. And every time I explain to someone what this stuff is, I always bring up those photos first.
Yeah.
Be like, this is what I do.
That's cool. We'll have to post it. That's just,
absolutely.
That's good. So,
And you make your own costumes?
Yes.
So because if I had to make my own costume, right, I would.
it would look, like Lisa when she gets the
the Florida.
Florida. That's what Kieran would look like.
I have seen that at a
something.
con and it was popular.
Yes, that is what or I would outsource it.
He'd buy a Spider-Man costume and hope for the best, thinking it was Superman.
Anyway, so does that mean you own a sewing machine and you?
I currently own 3 sewing machines.
Wow.
I was gonna say they just posted. We were chatting about this when I picked them up. They have like this whole. I just saw a photo of this decently big as the studio, I would say, size room, full of equipment and like models and all this sort of cool stuff.
Yeah,
That doesn't even count the garage either.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, full of stuff just for creating costumes for this sort of thing.
So what? Tell me about the world of cosplay, because there's you two, right?
Yep.
Is it an interconnected world? I'm guessing it's very small.
It's
It's
international.
huge. Yeah.
It started in Japan, actually.
I wouldn't be surprised about that.
Yeah, of
to be
course.
honest.
honest.
Like, because Japan have the maid cafe services and stuff. It's a big, and most of it started out actually from anime.
Yeah.
So, because anime is obviously the big thing out of Japan. Stuff like Sailor Moon and Bleach and all these big, like, internationally known.
Was it like those like Comic-Con or something like that happened in Japan and people started to dress up to go to that, or was it just like a natural thing, like people would just dress up, take photos of themselves?
I don't even think it was a convention in Japan that started it.
It was a convention in LA, actually,
Yeah.
in the early 80s, I believe. And
when it officially became a thing. Yeah.
1980 in the 80s.
That was the first
It was like
time.
a dynasty.
That was the first time that the word cosplay was
it, yeah.
said.
Right.
Yeah. But the actual
The art of dressing
Art.
up has been a long,
yeah.
long time.
Yeah. That's so 1980s.
So when will we have the Melbourne International Cosplay
well, they've said
Well,
that-
Forum?
I don't think we're going to have a phone. I mean,
Well,
the
hopefully.
closest...
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the closest thing we have at the moment is we have a convention that's not that old in Australia. 2012, I think it started.
Was that PAX or was it Supernova?
Oz Comic Con.
Oh wow, yeah.
So look at you knowing your knowledge.
Oh, look at me. Shit, that'd be my brother going,
Pulls out
hey,
Google.
what are these? What are some conventions you've been to? I've been to this one. All right, I'm gonna write that down.
So Oz Comic Con in the last 3.5 years now, they've been involved with the international company called Repop. Now, Repop are the ones who run New York Comic Con and C2E2, which are some of the biggest conventions in America. So through them, they run a program called the Championships of Cosplay. So what happens is every single city runs a specific cosplay comp that only has roughly 12 entrants. So they make people apply and only take on roughly, I think it's 12 people. Each state has a winner that goes to either Sydney or Brisbane at the end of the year.
Districts, then regional, then
Oh, not even districts, just regional, national.
It's much like Hunger Games.
Yes, it is very much like the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Hunger
Yeah, I haven't
Games.
watched Hunger Games.
We'll say yes.
But yeah,
For the nerds out there, it's much like
they're dressing up and they're hungry. They want it.
Accurate.
And I love it.
So yeah, at the end of the Oz Comic Con cosplay year, I guess they compete each city. There's obviously 5 competitors that compete for national title. Whoever wins national title is sent to C2E2 in Chicago to compete for Worlds. And then potentially we have a world champion. We've had a world champion who's Australian. 2016? 2016? Yeah, 2016 we had Major Sam Cosplay, who's a lovely girl from Brisbane. Her work is absolutely incredible. Last year we didn't place. This year, which was just 3 days ago now,
wow.
we came second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys came second.
No,
Australia.
Australia came second.
Oh, well done, Australia.
Very proud.
We're pretty good.
And they're not going to get the limelight because the Commonwealth Games are on at the moment. So.
Nope.
Exactly.
The one medal that will never get shown.
One day. It's
Just
shown
appears on the tally.
I was gonna say it shows on the internet. So that's where all the
where
cool
it
kids
counts.
are. That's right. So
Maybe we can start the campaign to
Cosplay
introduce
Olympics.
cosplay in the Olympics. As
Well,
a-
Or just a cosplay Olympics.
yeah.
we'll do it. We'll be there. I'd go. I'd
I will
watch.
be a judge.
as all good
CEO.
I will intern.
Damn straight you would.
So, who would like to go first? Open question. How did you get into cosplay? That's what I wanted to know. I've had a bit of a read of some of the stuff, but it's so much cooler when you hear it from the people.
Yeah, I'll go.
yeah.
Yep. So I started reading comics as all good nerds do. I'm a massive
Academic jock, I believe is
yes.
correct title.
Massive yes. Well, no, I'm not good with numbers.
Neither am I. I just hope for the best.
Massive Batman fan. From there, I've attended these conventions over the years. And yeah, from there, I thought this is pretty cool to dress up as your favorite character.
Yeah.
And yeah, it all started from there, really.
And what was your first costume that you went, I'm going to try? Like, how long ago was it, and what was the costume? Do you remember?
Shaun of the Dead,
Yeah,
is it?
no. It was Arthur from Hitchhiker's Guide to the
Right.
Galaxy.
Yeah.
42.
There
It
we
was-
go.
Were
It
you
was-
sure? Because that convention that I did, my first one was
pretty sure.
when you did Sean. Because I
You
have photos
sure?
of us that day.
Well, either way, they're massively.
We should never
I
get
think you
bogged
did.
down in detail.
I think
No.
you did one
No,
day
no.
and one the other.
They're obscure characters. Either
Yeah.
way,
No, that's
obscure British
really...
comedy characters.
Yeah.
The best guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Plus,
But I look like
they're
that's why I
both
kinda look like,
comfy.
Like not Manny Bernard from Black Books. That's what I'm going for here. And what about you, Heidi? What was your what made you get into it eventually at the beginning, and what was your first character?
So when I'm talking when I was like 6.
Other than Elsa, like let's sort of put that to a side.
I think I was around 6 or 7 years old when Agro's Cartoon Connection was still on TV. Like, now I'm showing my age. They were playing Sailor Moon before Cheese TV were.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to be Sailor Moon, but I also wanted to be Sailor Jupiter. My uniform for school, thankfully, was very close to what the girls had to wear.
Right.
So book club day comes, and I'm no. I'm not being any kind of book character. I'm being Sailor Jupiter. So
That's
my
great.
mum's made me Sailor Jupiter costume.
That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure she made it anyway. I think she just bought it from Kmart and went, just wear this.
Yeah.
As I got kind of older and more high school age, big nerd in the sense of reading fantasy books and things. So, I tried to pretend to look like Hermione from Harry Potter. Didn't work. Wanted to change my name to Hermione at one point. Mum didn't like that.
That's dedication.
Now I look back and go, why would I do that? And I think it was the year before we met, I went to a book signing in Melbourne here as a character from my favourite book series because the author was there. And I won a competition actually to go to dinner with her and like chat. And when we were stopping and taking photos at the end, she actually stopped me and said, "Oh, I really love your Isabel costume." And I said, "Thank you so much." And she goes, "You actually look so much like the girl I based the character off of." And I just lost it. I was like, I'm going to go cry in the corner now. So I was doing this stuff before I knew it had a name to it.
Yeah.
It wasn't until we went to our first convention in 2011, I think it was in Brisbane.
God. Yeah.
I had a
2011.
costume picked out, but it hadn't arrived yet because I'd kind of just ordered online because I had no idea what to expect. When we lined up that day to get in and I saw there was more people in costume than there were in normal clothes, I'm like, yeah, I got a costume next time we go to this thing because I'm the odd one out and I don't like it. So our next convention, which was Melbourne the following year, only like 4 months later, I did Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games, the first one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Full circle. Well done with the Hunger Games reference, whoever did that.
Look, I'm a genius.
I
Just
know.
pointing it out there.
I know. Now, Kieran, just to let you know, these two are not only great cosplayers,
Yes.
but are a couple.
Yes, I know that.
So how did you guys meet, and how have you used your...
Cosplay in the bedroom. I think that's what you were trying. Is that what you were trying to
In
say?
a roundabout way, there was, yeah, okay.
So how did you guys meet, and how did you sort of influence each other in the way you were doing cosplay, and how does that lead up to what you guys do now? Because you guys have done a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think we approach our cosplay in very different ways. I source a lot of my existing clothes and modify a lot of them, whereas Heidi makes everything from scratch. I do a lot of the electronics and Heidi helps me out with the sewing.
It sounds very similar to us. Turch does all the work and I sit back and relax.
If you've enjoyed these podcasts, please send all your Patreon dollars to Turch.
Intern, CEO.
Yeah, basically.
Now you're getting it.
The intern's on the cool side of the table over here.
Cool. Air quotes.
Yeah. So how did you guys meet? Like, was it at a convention, or was it at something else, or was it at a bar?
Can I take a punt? Okay.
Equal
Yes,
bar.
Please do.
You're at a convention, right?
Yes.
And you're across the sides of the room, but you don't know each other's there.
And you're both dressed as the Joker. And
And it was actually raining in the
convention.
And
hall,
Heidi was Spider-Man, and you were and Keaton was Mary Jane. And you did that upside down kiss in the first film, right?
And then they turn around and they catch each other's eyes, and then it was just like there was music playing, and then they just
Why do you give me so much material? Fucking idiot.
and then they get somehow there's like an electronic like Segway or something, and they both hop on them, and then they meet, and then it's love at first sight.
That's
Is that it?
quite accurate. Actually. Yeah.
But no.
It was uni, actually. I remember Heidi always watching Dragon Ball Z on her laptop.
Stuff wrong with Dragon Ball Z.
In the
Instead of
library where it's
Yep.
supposed to be for study, annoying all the other students who then go into stalker space and complain.
I had headphones in. I'm sorry.
I still heard it. I still heard it.
I was giving enjoyment to everyone else who doesn't want to watch Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah,
especially
true, that's
Cell
true,
Saga.
That's true.
That is the best saga, by the way.
It is.
Just to let everybody
And from there, the nerdy goodness began.
Yeah. Do you guys ever do like combined, like, male, female
Couples
costume-
cosplay.
Couple
Cosplay
cosplay?
is the word I'm looking for. Thank you so much.
Yes, we do.
We've done what? 3?
4, I think. Yeah.
Look, some of them aren't technically couples as such, as more characters from the same.
Like duo
Sure.
sort
Yeah.
of thing.
yeah. So like we've done Gamora and Star-Lord from Guardians, which I guess is kind of almost a couples cosplay since it's like there's definitely sexual tension there. But then we've done
Apple and Banana Man.
Yes, actually. How did you
How
guess
did you
it?
know? I was banana.
No,
what was
we've...
it? Anger and disgust from Inside Out. It's probably an example
Yeah,
of like
yeah,
not
yeah.
couples but related costumes.
Yes, we're talking red body paint on myself, green body paint for both Gamora and Disgust.
And
actually.
Dark Fairy.
Oh, God.
I like my
I
body
know
paint.
all of these characters off the top of my head. Just, if you said what guitar Frank Zappa was using in the 1970s and what gauge of strings he was using, Anthony would know that one. Turch would know that one. These characters, right over my head.
You will learn. You will learn.
That's awesome.
I'll ask you this question then, Turch.
Yes.
If... Oh, shit, I can't read my writing.
Oh, God damn it.
Human Torch, is that a character?
That is a character.
Yes,
Well, how about I put well, we'll get back to this because I want to know what they're currently doing because they've done a
Yeah.
whole bunch of stuff recently. But we'll go to an article. Before we do that, I want to play a really fun game. I said to Kieran, these guys are a couple. They're amazing. They know every single comic book character and character in general about a whole bunch of stuff, and they dress up and that. They would know who would win in a fight.
Ooh.
Oh,
This could have started an
this
argument.
you've started something here.
Yeah, this is
I
good.
hope you've...
So, first of all, we're going to go nice, easy ones, and then we'll get to the hard ones. So, first of all, it's Marvel versus DC. I mean, that's
That's easy, Marvel.
Uh-oh.
He's DC, I'm Marvel.
Right. How do you guys sleep together?
I still question that. now.
Oh, come on. DC movies suck.
Here. I've got a movie review later as well. And every time I've seen a DC film, it has been terrible.
Oh, there you go.
See.
But we're not saying which superhero
Although-
movie would win. We're saying which
Characters.
brand would win.
Marvel. Although,
DC,
if we're
no,
considering
no.
the other things that DC owns, like The Watchmen, I would be picking DC because you've got
Yeah,
The
that's
Watchmen
true.
and don't they own V for Vendetta as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
And I think they own 300 as well.
And
so we'd
they-
be stuffed.
So Alan Moore, basically.
yeah.
So-
So we'd be stuffed.
Yeah.
So, Disney. I know.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, the next one. This is another easy one again. Wonder Woman versus Supergirl.
Wonder Woman. Only because I like her more.
Another tension.
What?
I-
What are you doing here?
This
Ant?
is what I call fun.
Come on.
You're not going to like the
What?
rest of them, man. It's getting even worse.
I am now scrunching up the paper.
I'm also picturing Gal Gadot versus Melissa Bonas, or
Oh.
however you pronounce her name, and I'm going Gal Gadot there
All right.
easily.
All right.
Okay,
Well-
here's one.
He's got one. You got one?
Apple Man versus Banana Man.
Banana Man.
Oh. Yeah. Banana.
All right, here we go. Another one, a bit more topical. Steel versus Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Ooh.
Only because what's
That's
Steel?
a good one.
Because Steel,
That's
like,
close,
from
actually.
from what I
Yeah.
know, he's like Superman, but he's also black, and he's also got more powers than Superman, almost, or almost equal.
Yeah.
And Black Panther's also got like basically Superman powers.
Yes.
Except I don't think he can fly. You might have to correct me on that one. He can fly to a degree.
Only because of how amazing that movie is, I've got to go Black
No,
Panther.
it's jumping with style.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go
Falling
with
with style.
that. Yeah. Okay, so we're going Black Panther on that one or Steel?
I'd
go
say
Black.
Black Panther.
All right. here we go.
Steel, absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah.
He's actually my favorite comic book character of all time, only because he was played by Shaquille O'Neal. Okay, another good one. Another Hulk versus the Thing.
Hulk.
Oh, Hulk.
Hulk.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, jeez. Okay, so we're going to get to the tough ones now. The Japanese Godzilla versus the Megazord from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Ooh. Nice.
Thank
You've
you.
done your research.
I also think I know. These are both, actually, I've watched all the Japanese Godzilla films and all the first 3 seasons of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, so you could say that I'm a bit of an expert.
I feel like I need to go the Megazord.
I'm gonna say Godzilla just to
Well, what-
shake things
Turch,
up.
What
a
would
little.
you pick?
I would
Yeah.
pick the Megazord, absolutely.
Why? Okay.
Because the Megazord beats up monsters like that all the time.
Yeah, but it's Godzilla.
Yeah, but it's also the Megazord.
Yeah, but Godzilla's got more.
Wait,
wow
wait.
factor.
Which year?
The Mighty
Godzilla?
Morphin Power Rangers.
The original Power Rangers series.
Yeah, and the Japanese Godzilla. I do make that specific because the American
The
one's a
better
piece of
one.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a piece of shit.
Yeah. No, I'll change my answer.
Yes.
Actually.
What are
Back
you
on
going?
the Power Rangers thing. This is why I wore the Power Rangers t-shirt to persuade people. Okay, this is another easy one. Captain Underpants or Italian Spider-Man?
Ooh.
I'm glad you know who Italian Spider-Man is.
I just want to see that fight.
Captain Underpants.
Yeah, I'm going Captain
Captain
Underpants.
Underpants. Because Captain Underpants is an angry school principal.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But Italian Spider-Man can make chickens lay cigarettes.
That's
so,
true.
he's the real
Yeah.
winner.
Yeah. The chickens.
The
that's it.
chickens win.
And he's got the Pinguini power, which is basically he calls Pinguinis to attack people. Don't forget that power.
Oh, God.
If you haven't seen Italian Spider-Man, I suggest checking that out. And the final one I have, which is, I think is the most contentious one, the Rat in the Hat from Bananas in Pajamas versus Rizzo from the Muppets.
Come on, man. That's just...
Rizzo. Gotta be Rizzo. I love the Muppets.
Who's Rizzo?
He's the rat from the Muppets. Didn't you hear what I just said?
Yeah, I don't.
I actually think Rat in the Hat has a dark past.
He looks like he could just sit on him and kill him.
No, I think he can flip a switch and just go
Oh,
psycho.
he's totally a mass murderer somewhere.
Yeah. Could you imagine working in the same shop with B1 and B2, just being idiots in your shop?
You reckon they swap shirts occasionally instead of pretend to be B1 and B2?
Yeah.
Wait, no, they don't have it written on their shirts, do they?
No, they do it on the collars.
Oh, yeah, they do.
I just like the fact that they work on like beach patrol, but there's only like 5 people on the island. Oh, that's the end of that game. That's all I have for that one. I thought I'd end on a real high note.
And put an end of themes tune.
Yeah,
right here.
that's right. More music for me to write in 24 hours. Thank
Do
you
we
very much.
win like a jet ski? Or...
Well, yeah. It's
Come on down.
Your check's in the mail. What can I say?
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, so much for playing.
Send all complaints to Turch.
Well, you know what? We
intern.
actually had a fan, James, message us asking if we can send in a rant of his own. And if you would like to send in a rant of your own, please record it and send it to our email. Our email is weonlydoontakepodcast@gmail.com. Weonlydoontakepodcast is all one word. Send it to that, and I will rig up a way of playing it on the podcast.
So it's we only do one podcast.
We
one
only
word.
do... Oh, God damn it, Kieran.
God
We
damn it,
only
Kieran,
do
at
one take
mail-
podcast
Gmail.
at gmail.com.
Okay, so we only do one take podcast.
At gmail.com.
God damn it, Kieran.
/ no, /.
Forward slash.
God damn
Got
it.
it.
You know what's
Okay.
funny? Like you type in HTTP and then you do like the colon, then the /. Now that turns into an emoji, so you can't actually type it in anymore.
What?
I
Yeah.
want to do this now.
I'll show you later. I'll show you later. Nonetheless, I've got an article.
Okay.
It's a real simple one. I thought we'll keep them short and sweet because I want to talk to these guys some more.
All right.
Police. Woman claims wind blew cocaine into her purse. Authorities say a Florida woman is blaming a windy day for the cocaine that was found in her purse.
Now
That's my excuse.
That is a very legitimate excuse.
I would have thought so.
It could happen.
Oh, well, does that happen to you before? Just have some cocaine flew into your handbag.
I wish cocaine has flown into my bag.
Your handbag. You've got to be very specific about this.
Well, number one, I've got to get a handbag.
Number-
And then number two, I've got to stand near people who I think
you might have
got
to
cocaine.
go out with some girls and buy yourself a handbag. Because you don't want to get the wrong one. I've heard many stories of bad stories about buying handbags.
Uh-huh.
Mainly because I've been with my girlfriend when she buys a handbag. And it is almost like torture. But
Apparently
but
there's
yeah.
etiquette.
look, I don't know. I was just there.
Handbag etiquette.
Yeah, basically
Yeah,
you can only hold one brick in there and hit a man. But two, too much.
Yeah,
That's
something
right.
like that.
Even I don't know all this. I'm in a backpack.
I can put 3 bricks in that one. That's fine. So, they reported Kennedy Posey was one of 2 passengers in the car stopped by the police in late March. The police say the officer smelt marijuana, and that after searching
Which was probably legal in
It
that
is,
part
yeah,
of
that's
America.
right.
Yeah.
Cocaine and marijuana in separate bags are found inside the purse.
I'm glad they were in separate bags.
So they were in bags.
Oh,
Remember, the wind blew it in.
yeah,
That's right. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. It's all right. The authorities say they questioned Posey about the drugs. According to the police report, Posey responded, "It's a windy day. It must have flown in through the window and into my purse." Posey was charged with a felony count of cocaine possession and misdemeanor count marijuana. She was later released on bond, and it isn't immediately known if she has a lawyer.
Though, if she can afford the right lawyer, she'll get off with that excuse.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I know one lawyer, and he would just go, "I'm not taking this case." You know those people, Blackburn lawyers, is like, no win, no fee kind of thing.
Nah, this lawyer would have to be charging through the roof.
Oh yeah, but she can't even pay bail, and she's claiming that a bag of coke, with wind, not just flew into her car window as she was driving, but also into her purse. Now I don't know, Heidi. You said you carry a backpack and when you're driving, and you got the window open, would you have your backpack unzipped?
No.
So straight away, this is a shit defense.
Look, I'm also curious, did she claim that the marijuana was flown in too? Because at least then you could be like...
Marijuana's probably legal. So it's
she got
fine.
Yeah, but it would sound more convincing if she said all of it must have just flown in.
Well, marijuana is federally legal, but not the state.
Oh,
So
yeah.
some states, while they can still sometimes grow it and stuff like that, the states have the right to decide if it's actually legal or not. But under federal law, it's not. But the federal law, it's legal. They can do that.
Oh, fair enough. There you go.
Yeah.
One day it will be legalised here in Australia.
Oh, look, we just got the gay marriage. Don't push our luck. I mean, that only took a $1.20, or was it $7.20 a piece of paper vote?
Was it $7.20?
Oh, remember I worked it out ages ago. It was like, we got like 15 million people that actually can vote in Australia, and if they sent out a letter to everyone.
All I know is that
$7.20.
It cost, what did it cost? Like $30-40 million or something
Yeah.
like that.
No, it was like 80 million.
Oh, was it? Yeah,
They
like
quoted 120 and it came in like 88.
Yeah, it was like, so that's like $7 a vote.
All
What a waste of time.
All I know is when they did that, I wanted to start a printing shop to get the contract.
That's smart, actually.
But you gotta
You could have the robot sex shop and the printing shop.
I'll run
right
the robot
beside
sex shop.
They'll be next door to each other. And then the robot will...
What if we just do 2 for 1 and we just make the sex robots also printers?
Gonna say that.
Well, before you know it,
So
you'll
you're
be able
banging it, you're done, you finish up and just print out your bill.
And
Print the receipt.
just scan it to your email.
Oh,
You're good.
Yeah. And then I just hose it down.
You can get a 3D printer and 3D your own sex robot. 3D print.
You know what? You buy a 3D printer, you print your own 3D printer, and you return your 3D printer.
Oh, there you go.
It's like breaking the fourth wall.
Why didn't we think of that?
3D printers. Wow.
And now, shut up, everyone.
Oh.
God damn it, Kieran.
Don't say my name in vain.
Fuck off, Jesus.
Hey, Muhammad. Now,
I'm sorry about Muhammad. I'll say that one later. So I want to talk about how my nonna found out she may be black, but she's not. Do you want me to tell that story?
No.
Instead?
I saw a movie.
Oh!
Whoa.
While you're away, I saw a movie, and I've got a movie review.
And the first thing is that you must tell the criteria. Kieran has a very specific criteria when it comes to reviewing films. I re-listened to the episode with the What's On Your Bugle recently, and you told him that. But you better tell.
No. I'll tell them. I'll tell as I go along. I'll tell them. That's fine.
That's beautiful.
Because we might have some new listeners listening to us.
That's true.
And they might need to know the criteria. Anyway, I saw Ready Steady One.
Ready
Steady-
Player One.
Ready,
You're
steady,
talking to
cook.
someone who's read the
Yeah.
book here.
Oh, there you go.
There's
So you
a
watch.
book.
There's a book and it's so much better.
Okay, so you watch Ready Steady Cook.
Wait,
Jeez, that Leno and Woodley
so
really went downhill.
So you would have had to purchase a time machine, go back to...
When did it stop filming?
Early 2000s or something?
But
And watch.
ready, steady, cook.
I
Yeah.
think I was like 18, 19 because I was at uni, but like had the middle of the day off and watched Ready Steady Cook.
Jeez, I just thought that was going to be a joke, and now suddenly, you know what? The Ready Steady Cookbook podcast begins today, people. Hi, and welcome to the Ready Steady Cookbook podcast. We are.
You should get the first guest as being one of the guys from Leno and Woodley that used to be the host.
That's true. Jeez, that like you said, that really went down. Anyway, you saw Ready Player One.
Ready what? Ready Player One.
Ready
Yes, that
Player
one.
One.
I saw that one. Anyway, and overall, it was. I'm going to give it 2.5 stars.
Jeez.
Wow.
That must
Rough.
have been the worst hot dog.
maybe 3. We'll see.
Okay.
Now, so turn up and missed some of the. Well, hang on, no, it was at Northland, so the recliner seats. But before I turned up, we with a few mates, we went and played Time Zone. Right, so
Jeez, that's been a while since I've done that.
that was pretty cool. And I went bowling because I've now got a bowling thing there, and the bowling machine broke halfway through, so I was in a feral mood.
So you didn't get any tickets.
No tickets. And I played a few
right?
other games, then that was fine. But I was upset because I didn't get to finish my game of bowling, right? And now because I'm on a diet, I didn't get any popcorn or Coke.
I'm very impressed. That's a
Whoa,
challenge.
whoa! You can't review this movie and have all of this outside occurrences.
Oh, I
Hinder
can, and I will.
This is why he got him a 2.5.
Keenan, this is how he reviews films. He also judges the films before he even gets. He gets into the cinema, and if there's not enough legroom, it's automatically a 3-star film.
2-star. Now, so sit down, and then there's issues. People are in our seats, right?
Oh.
Now this is a problem. Anyway, they moved reluctantly, but then I had the guy who didn't want to move sitting next to me, and I was just annoyed that he was sitting next to me. And for no other reason. He was probably an alright guy, but just I was like, you're an asshole. And now I'm stuck with him. You know, that's terrible. So I'm starving. I'm sitting next to an asshole. I'm in a foul mood couldn't finish off bowling. We also missed some of the previews, so
You like missing the previews, though.
I do, but I wanted to watch some of them.
It would have been Avengers, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have just been Avengers.
So I missed the Avengers trailer. haven't seen it yet. The movie started, and I thought this is pretty good. But the worst thing was, actually, I don't know what the worst thing was. But overall, can't really remember the film anymore. So
Wow.
I'm gonna have to give it 2.5 stars.
That's the best review I've ever heard.
Thank you very much. Did you guys see it?
Yes.
Yes.
As a massive fan of the original book, I can tell you now the book is so much better and more in depth. And so the movie itself
See,
is
my 2.5
filled.
stars is valid then.
In a way, I probably would have given it 3.
In a
was gonna say, I
way.
reckon-
In a way.
I would have given it 3.
I haven't seen the film, but I reckon I would have given it 3 just to safe.
I've got to bring this down to like 1.5 now.
Look, for a movie that is completely filled with pop culture references at every single camera angle that you turn, it's great for people like us.
That was it. I didn't get all the pop references. That was the other thing.
That's the other thing too, is the pop
yeah,
references in this movie are very current, whereas in the book, it focuses very much on the creator of the video game in the movie, James Halliday, his obsession with the 70s and 80s. So there's honestly a chapter in this book.
Like punch things like Atari games and
Yes,
Commodore
there would.
64
That's
and
what
stuff
it should
like
have
that.
been. So honestly, there is a whole chapter in this book where he's playing Mrs. Pac-Man.
Yeah.
And he wins a coin in this game of Mrs. Pac-Man, and you find out it's a big deal later in the game.
Yeah.
Funny enough, there's still a coin in the movie, but it's done a very different way. And I'm like, I wanted my whole chapter on Mrs. Pac-Man. Like, I just wanted to watch him sit there for half an hour playing Mrs. Pac-Man because I thought that would be great. No, not really. But, like, a part of me was like,
If you want to see that,
it was
just watch
great.
Billy Mitchell. Who's now not the leader of Donkey Kong. Apparently he cheated. So there you go.
Oh,
that
controversy.
It just came out. Apparently his latest like over 1 million point record was on an emulator and he spliced the images or something like that. So anyway, that's really cool. Yeah, that's how nerdy I am. I watch documentaries about people cheating at Donkey Kong.
I fell asleep here in the
Nah,
corner.
thank you very much.
I actually think the other problem was Steven Spielberg directed it.
Right.
What?
He's
You
got
think
a
that's the problem?
I felt left. I was like, it's just. I had no idea what it was before I went in, like most films. But I was like, Steven Spielberg is directing it.
Yep.
Oh, Steven
This is,
Spielberg.
he's never let me down before. I was a bit like meh.
Look,
Steven.
as a fan of the book, when I read that it was going to be Steven Spielberg, I went, yes, this is what this book needs because it's so, like, everything it's quoting in there, half of them were things that he owned. Or, sorry, he produced or directed or whatever. So I was like,
Jaws and E.T.
yeah,
and all that sort of stuff.
just like there were little snippets of it. Things like, I think the main one that sticks out to me is that split second we got of the dinosaur from Jurassic Park.
All right. Yeah.
And I was like, yes, there it is. But that was
90s,
very
though?
early into the movie.
Yeah.
And then from then onwards, it started getting more and more current to the point where I think 15 minutes in, they had an Overwatch character. I'm like, there was nothing to do with Overwatch in the 80s.
Yeah, too
Overwatch is
much.
now.
Interesting. But I think the issue for me was, for example, Ryan Johnson, who did the latest Star Wars film, admitted he was a huge Star Wars nerd, and I think he did that film justice in my eyes.
I wasn't a fan of it. I'm gonna put it out there. I
Thank
was not
you.
a
Wow.
fan of it.
I
Okay.
hated it.
Maybe because like I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I sort of watch these films just as more.
You're a Star Trek person.
See, that's where CEOs and interns differ.
Cienan versus Intern, Star Wars versus Star
That's
Trek.
right. That's right. I'm not into Star Trek either. I'm into.
Power Rangers.
Yes, that's right. And we can just put it out there. All the Power Ranger films are terrible. So, except actually the new one I didn't mind. I thought it was a fun action film, but I didn't really like the new Star Wars.
Did you know the Red Power Ranger in the new Power Rangers movie is Australian?
Yeah, he is.
He's also in Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, he is too. There you go.
Just an FYI.
There you go.
The more you know.
Do, 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 do. What's that? I can't remember the sound effect. I'll put it in. It's okay. This is the kind of thing I do. Excellent.
By the way, when you listen back to this, there are going to be so many sound. Actually, no, Turch is editing.
No,
there's going to be
I'm-
one sound effect.
I'm very conservative with the sound effects, and Kieran is less conservative, more liberal.
You need like a sound box.
Look,
Yeah,
we've
just
discussed it,
look.
but then Kieran just keep clicking all the buttons. So
All I can hear in my head is that noise from Seinfeld. Yep, that's all I'm
So
hearing
that's
right
actually
now.
a keyboard, not a bass guitar.
Really?
Yeah. He did that for new thing for every single episode.
Oh,
There
okay.
you go. He used to watch it in advance and play it as he was playing because he didn't want to get in the way of Jerry's jokes. But let's get back to the cosplay because that's why you're here. Have you ever dressed up as Jerry Seinfeld? Number one, and number two, how?
Thank you. I've actually got an article that is relevant to this.
Right, okay.
To the cosplay. So
Good.
let's get back into it.
Yep.
You really should stop letting me cut you off.
I do it because
He's the intern.
I know that you're going to say something stupid. And I'm just going to put that at the end of the episode as the bonus part. So anyway,
Shut up for a second.
how
Now,
did you get your...
raunchy couple caught making X-rated motions in hotel lobby during Fury Animal Costume Convention.
That doesn't
No,
surprise
that's
me
furries.
at all.
That's
No,
completely
furries,
different.
furries.
Furries
It's completely different.
Furries is still technically cosplay.
True.
They've made it
yes,
and they're
but
being a character.
Sorry, let me reread this. Raunchy couple caught making X-rated motions in hotel lobby during cosplay convention.
Was it you?
We're not furries.
I know.
So,
I feel like this is a rivalry now. I looked at Fairy going, yeah, that's
Don't-
cosplay.
You
fairies are... We're going to have to discuss fairies because I know a little bit
Yeah,
about
yeah.
fairies and I want to know more about cosplay. So let's do that. So, you've been together for a while now, you've been doing stuff. How did you end up getting some of your costumes into the Melbourne Museum?
yeah.
That's something cool. Let's discuss that.
that's
I don't want to hear about fucking
pretty
yipping.
effing epic. Actually, that
You can
phone
swear on
call.
this.
That
It's fine.
fuck.
Yes.
That's the attitude.
Wog, wog.
That's a swear word.
Depends who you ask.
So we basically got a phone call randomly saying we're doing this new exhibition
Yeah.
looking at comic books, particularly in the Indigenous culture.
Yeah.
Found out you guys were cosplayers. Would you like your costumes to be on display?
That's awesome.
We're like, yes, yes.
Because I think I've got you guys, I've got one of you on Facebook, and I still like, we're going to have this going up real soon. I'm just like, that's pretty cool. And that's all photos, and it's like this really cool costume. Is it Captain Boomerang? Am I
Yeah,
correct?
yep.
He's one of the, I guess, the evil people, I guess, or villains, I guess. And he was in, what was that film called? The terrible one with Will Smith.
Yeah, the Suicide Squad.
That's right. That's Suicide. Watch the cartoon one. It's much better, according to my brother.
Yes.
So I did my research.
Yeah,
So first of all, how did you make the costume? And can we still see the
Yeah.
exhibition now?
So the exhibition is still open until
June the 7th.
June the 7th. Yep. So that particular cosplay I actually made during the first promotional posters of the film.
So let's go. You guys have really just go, okay, this is coming out. The first images you grab is what and you just go, yeah, we're going to do it. It's almost like you're going to beat up. Is it like a competition to go who's going to make the first costume of it and the best costume of it before like the film comes out or something like that? Is it that competitive, or is it more of just I really want to do this, and if anyone else is going to do it,
I think
also
it's
cool.
more the passion you have towards how the cosplay looks or the character.
I think with that
Yeah.
particular one too, because we'd had every single trailer drop by then for Suicide Squad, but the movie had not come out yet.
Should have just stayed in pre-production. That one.
I enjoyed it. And I think as we watched...
in fact, I gave it 4 stars.
Oh
Ooh.
god damn it, Kieran!
You
Don't do that.
gave Ready Player 1 2.5?
Well,
I remember more of Ready Player 1 but...
I think I was in gold class when I saw.
So
Okay.
legroom, food, alcohol. Yeah,
And
makes
that
sense.
time the bowling alley was working. And, yeah.
It was in the cinema.
Yes, it was like an actual proper bowling alley, not a kid bowling alley.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Was this the crown? In that particular one, I think because we'd seen all the trailers, Keenan at first was interested in doing another character from the movie.
Yeah.
And the more and more trailers dropped, I said to him, why go as this character we're getting nothing from when you could go as someone as cool as Captain Boomerang? He seems like he's such a cool, like, cliche stereotype Australian character with a beer in hand and a unicorn in the other, making just crack-wise jokes. And I said to him, I thought it would suit him more. And when the trailer dropped, I was also like, I'm avoiding Harley Quinn like the plague, because every girl goes as Harley Quinn at some point. Even I did twice. I decided to go. I decided to go with. We didn't know at the time the villain of the movie, but as an outsider looking into it, I was like, look, every girl's going to go as Harley. Let's go as Enchantress and be a little different and go out of my comfort zone and do the bikini thing that she wore.
Yeah, and I already owned a pink unicorn, so it was
not lying.
just a question of getting the jacket and weathering that, and
If you haven't
hey,
seen it, Kieran, here it is. Here's his picture at the Melbourne Museum with sporting a sexy mustache, and I'm sure you would have been.
Thank you.
I like the hat that he's wearing.
The hat's pretty cool too. But I was going to
Sorry,
say
I feel like I need to describe this. Just
that's true.
'cause
Heidi,
it's an audio show.
how did quickly?
Right, so-
how did
No,
you
no,
enjoy
no.
that mustache?
Don't even.
Yeah, same response my girlfriend has. So, Kieran, would you
Every
like to
time.
describe his current what he's wearing and what's in the case?
All right.
Look,
so the costume looks
before
good.
you do describe this, the mustache was a passion project of mine.
Wasn't
So-
it the Magnum PI or something?
Yeah,
That's fine by me. That's good.
That's
It's
please
a
continue.
it's a very good
It's a great mustache.
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 So wearing I would say navy blue shirt. That's in some shorts. That's good. They're probably also a darker color. But the hat is a bright yellow with blue and red and black on it. It looks pretty. I want that hat.
That's what Aboriginal colours. I'm going to assume black, red, white. No,
Well,
black, white,
actually,
yellow, red.
that was ironic. It was actually a Wolverine themed hat.
Or a German hat. One.
Yeah.
I'm watching too
Maybe
much soccer.
Wolverine is German.
Can I say this?
Yeah,
No, he's
German
Hugh Jackman.
Wolverine.
He's obviously Australian. Come on,
Yeah.
people.
So you made this costume.
Yes.
How cool is
I
it?
know. I'm going. I'd pay top dollar for that.
Yeah, and he just made it. With the help of Heidi. I'm sure Heidi did most of it.
Yes.
How long did it take to make this? Like even just looking at the jacket, the jacket's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So it's not like okay, so it's not like university students who go, I've got my assignment due tomorrow. Let's start it now.
Although sometimes
you'd be surprised more than how often that actually happens before a major.
I've honestly
convention?
been up until 4 o'clock in the morning making a dress to go into a comp at 10 o'clock that morning.
Okay, so you like stress and pressure.
That particular one, yes.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep for a week. I think with that costume though, because it was a combination of both things that was made and things that were bought and altered.
Yeah.
So, like the jacket, for example, the big grey one was brought, but he weathered the hell out of it with shoe polish and paint and dirt, and I'm pretty sure you rubbed it in the dirt out the back at some point.
Yeah. The commitment I had to making that look as authentic as possible was amazing.
And then I had to stitch on the captain on the jacket.
Yep.
There was a blue jacket on the inside of the grey one where it has captain written on it. So I had to go buy the patches, sew them to it, get his opinion on where they were positioned first, do all the stitching work. That was weathered too, wasn't it?
I
Yes.
really understand why she's the intern.
Yes.
For the win.
Exactly. Meanwhile, I sit back and reap all of the rewards.
And plays Overwatch.
We share a lot in common.
Yes, I can see this now. Yes.
Kieran cannot play Overwatch to save his life. That's
What is Overwatch?
Exhibit A.
that's awesome. So you've done a whole bunch of stuff. You just said there was some. It was a international competition. International competition recently.
Yes.
What's next on your agenda? What's the next competition? What's the next? I guess press release, because you said you did a whole bunch of cool stuff. What's next? What's in the future?
World
So
champions.
World champion. I reckon. I vote for you. How do you vote?
No.
We'll just jump up to world champs.
Yeah.
That's
We'll just take that
we only
massive
do one
leap.
take podcast cosplay
Champs.
competition, and they've worn costumes. It's a
you've
audio
heard it
show, so
first here first. We are
We call
nominated.
and we can give them the We Only Do One
Exclusive.
Take Podcast Cosplay International World Champions.
There you go. You did it.
Champion of the universe.
Is this my medal?
Yes. And Aldi beer.
Aldi
Always
beer.
what I want.
Worth it. Spent $7,000 making a dress, gets a beer.
So,
Wow, what? What? Whoa. We have to stop. Stop. $7,000 making a dress? Please explain, and when.
So I also have something at the Melbourne Museum, right?
You do. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I was looking for a photo. I didn't. I was very lazy.
My phone's dead. Unless Keenan's got one on his phone. So I have also got something at the museum. I enter into this national competition. I have yet to win state to be able to go on to, what do you call it, national title, to be able to go on to international title. So the first year I did it, I think I spent maybe $2,500 making my costume. That's more in the sense of not just materials, but if you charge yourself minimum rate per time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the one that I did last year that's now sitting in Melbourne Museum, if I did it by minimum rate plus time and effort and materials, it was $8,500.
Holy
Fuck.
Check this out.
I know. I've seen it. I just couldn't find a photo to show you. I know. What the fuck?
So for,
All my clothes together don't cost $8,500.
for
Let
those,
alone one dress.
considering it's a listening and not visual podcast, I should probably describe it. So
Yeah, well, you know what? Kieran, our man that never gets
Yes,
bogged down in
please,
details.
please.
I'm not going to do this justice.
No,
And I'm actually going to say, for once, I'm not going to describe it.
that's amazing.
want it?
Because
Oh, me? Oh, fuck.
I'm
if you
blown
want to look at it,
I'm blown away by it.
I'm happy to
So
describe
I would say
it.
it's like a period piece, like almost like I would say it's a cross between like a dress worn by Queen Elizabeth I and almost like the Queen of Hearts.
That's
Like, you know-
exactly what it is.
Oh, look at this guy!
So it
Fucking nailed
is.
it.
So it's a
It's amazing. It is like Jesus Christ.
So the best way I
Yes.
can describe it is it's an artist from Japan called, I probably am pronouncing this wrong, Sakizo.
Nailed it.
I'm guessing that's how it's pronounced. They usually take existing characters or she's honestly taken an ice cream and made a character out of it.
That's crazy.
I'm guessing it's a she. I'm hoping it's a she. I'll say they have redesigned the Queen of Hearts. They call it Red Queen there. Into a Marie Antoinette, Queen Elizabeth style.
Yeah.
And produced a whole book called Alice's World. Now, she made Alice's World and Alice's World 2. That particular dress is from the Alice's World 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yes. Where she dances on the roof. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so that's kind of that monster. Depending on the day, I either call it my beauty or the beast.
That's amazing. More than anything.
That I am blown away with.
Why, thank you.
And how long would something like that take to sort of...
Yes,
sort of
Heidi, how long?
I was going to say, that's not like I'm going to wake up on a Saturday morning just before the Comic-Con and just whip it up.
Put it this way, that dress, there's no pattern in the world that can help you make that dress.
Yeah.
I mean, there's things that are similar that you can kind of adjust, but I'm at the point in my sewing career, I guess I can call it, where I make my own patterns.
Yeah.
So I took from the 1st of January 2017 to the 2nd of July 2017 to build it. And I was building it from all the way up till 4 o'clock in the morning the day of the competition.
That's
like half a year of dedication work, blood, sweat, tears, and cash.
How many hours a week on average?
Minimum 12. Probably more, honestly. Probably minimum of 15 hours. If I was having a slow work week, I was probably working about 45 hours.
I mean, plus I helped. So
I'm sorry. His version of helping was
he sat on his ass and he played Overwatch.
His version.
basically, yeah.
This is his version of helping, right? I made a template of how I make my flowers to go on that dress. Now, to make one flower on this dress, there is 40 flowers on this dress. One flower takes half an hour, minimum. I gave him a template to draw on felt to cut out the petals to the flower. They weren't even.
Hey,
Now.
Let's not get bogged down in details.
Exactly.
Yes.
He tried.
If it makes you feel any better, flowers aren't all exactly the same.
Yeah.
Nature is.
I was going for natural.
I just hit them in the back.
But it's a collective effort, and I don't
Yes,
think it really is important who did the most amount of work.
I mean, when it comes to making the
Exactly.
application to putting that in the comp, I can't exactly say partner made 4 flowers.
Exactly.
This is like when drummers and bassists say they're important parts of the band. No, you're not. Like, we can replace you. It's absolutely
If they
fine.
can do an acoustic version, you're out.
Yeah, basically.
You're not important.
Chicks like acoustic guitars, and that's
Ed Sheeran.
yeah. That's a rant for another day.
There you go. I've got one for you.
So what's next? Like, we just talked about $8,500 dress and art at the museum. What's next?
Do you want to talk about what you're doing next?
Yeah.
Me?
So I'll talk about what I'm doing. Our next big convention, I guess, will be Supernova.
Yep.
Which is helping me out.
Next
Heidi.
weekend.
Really?
Is it?
Not this weekend, but next weekend.
Okay, cool.
crap.
Cool.
That's why I need to work on my week.
So that the next major project, I guess, for me would be the Indigenous Comic-Con is actually coming over to Australia.
Oh, exciting.
So I'll be heading that up.
Wow. Where's that going to be? Is that Melbourne based or Sydney or?
Yep. So I convinced them to have it in Melbourne.
That's awesome.
Suffering your jocks, Sydney.
Yeah.
And James.
One fan in Sydney. We love you, James. We really do. Call in.
Please. So that's the next major thing. I guess apart from that is possibly getting an interview on ABC 7:30 report.
That's awesome.
With Lee Sales.
I know.
Yes. They're going to say yes.
Yes.
Look at that.
She's a hard one.
Really?
Yeah.
So I should.
She hasn't met me. No.
Just be a politician. Stick to your talking points.
Okay.
Did you know, Kieran, we just got a scoop.
What?
We just did it. We just got a scoop.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
You heard it first.
First, here, they're going to be on the ABC.
Fantastic.
That's amazing.
That is brilliant.
And Heidi, same sort of thing. Like next Supernova, and then you're gonna go to the Aboriginal convention as well.
Yes, definitely. So obviously we got Supernova coming up. I've already got my costumes lined up, ready to go.
Can we have a hint? Like, don't tell us what it is, but
I can tell you what it is if you like.
Okay.
So there's a popular TV show getting around based on the old Archie comics called Riverdale.
Okay.
So I'm going as a character from Riverdale with a bunch of other people who are doing other characters as well. So there'll be a group of us. And then the other day I am doing this good movie from the 2000s that really got me through high school called Mean Girls. And I'm going as Regina George because I'm secretly a horrible human being.
Are you wearing pink?
Yes, I am wearing pink.
Okay, anyway.
Also trying to convince Keenan to go as the guy that goes, she doesn't even go here.
Because that movie got me through high school too.
As well.
So, yeah.
He's also
a mean girl.
I only watched it like about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, and look, it's a funny film. And it's one of those films that your girlfriend forces you to watch.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true. Yeah.
he'd seen it before me, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah,
have to force him to watch The Notebook for the first time.
I haven't subjected.
I
haven't been
am not
subjected to
doing that.
I haven't
No.
been subjected to that. Or Titanic, so I'm on a roll.
Wow. I applaud you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Do you know what we've got? As part of the We Only Do One Take podcast this season, what we're doing is
You're giving away the spoons finally?
yes, and we are doing we're going to basically say to the audience, put this film in, right? Turn the volume down, turn our podcast up, and we're going to provide the entertainment.
Yes, that's right.
Audio
Yes.
for the film. And I have just made the executive decision. The first film we will do is Titanic.
Yeah!
Motherfucking. I think these guys would like
Brilliant
to come.
choice.
Well, you know what? We'll invite all the girls that have been on the podcast to come and watch it with us.
No.
Jack!
Actually, no. That's actually yes.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
Before we do that, I'm going to sit you down and make you watch Titanic, so you know what the film's about.
I know what the film's about. It's
No.
about two people having sex in a car on a boat,
No,
and then the
no.
boat sinks.
It's on a door.
It's a
in the
metaphor.
middle of the Pacific.
They don't have sex on the door. Come on, that's fine. They
what
couldn't
I
even
thought.
fit two people on that. They're not having sex on the door.
Isn't it told from the point of view of the iceberg?
I wish it was.
Yes.
That'd be a great movie.
My question is, are we watching the Titanic film by what's the guy's name?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, with that one in it, or are we watching the Italian one? Because there's an Italian one which has a rapping dog.
The Beach.
I love that movie.
We're not watching Beaches, Kieran. I know it's your favourite film.
No. The Castle or The Dish. I can't decide. Or Little Miss Sunshine.
That's right.
So I've just got faces looking at me now.
I'm just trying to decide between the castle or the dish. I'd have to go with the dish because I absolutely hate the castle.
Oh.
How? What?
Easily.
Whoa!
Absolutely
Whoa! This is how we
easily.
break up relationships.
No. What is this?
Did we break it up earlier when we had to do Marvel
Yeah.
vs. DC?
Why did
Why
we
wasn't this
agree
in the
to
versus
come
round?
here again?
The dish. I watched that so many times in high
We
school.
watch that. We watch that every year at New Year's when we go to Phillip Island, and it's
Yeah.
always on VHS, and we always have to rewind it.
Aww.
It's tradition.
What a romantic couple that we are.
But also, if we're throwing in Little Miss Sunshine, that's got to win.
Because it's got a combi van.
Yeah. No, just
that's
the
why.
dance alone.
Yes, at
The
the end
dance
of the film.
alone. The
Yep.
dance alone.
Yep. So only 3 films have ever made it to 5 stars in my movie reviews. And it's those 3. The Dish, The Castle, and Little Miss Sunshine.
Impressive, except for the castle. You only said the
Have
dish.
you heard of a movie called The Room?
Oh,
Hey!
please tell
Oh!
me. You've got to...
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
But you can't just watch it. You have to go to the...
You have to
Cinema Nova.
experience it.
Cinema
Oh,
Nova,
yeah.
What?
You have to. We'll have to go to Cinema Nova.
Sorry, you don't
Yes.
watch The Room. You
experience
experience the room.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. If Anthony has to watch
This
Titanic,
is an unfair trade. I can already
Yeah.
feel it.
yeah, but how else are you going to get a powerful CEO to do anything else?
I just tell him that we're going to do this. And he's like, all right. Let's
Oh, okay. Go see The Room.
Yeah,
we'll have to
but
see
you
The
have
Room.
to experience
Well,
the
if you
room.
experience the room, I'll write up a full critique.
You know what? Blaine and Niall will both want to do it as well, so we'll do that.
Okay. Fair enough.
Excellent. Keenan, Heidi, thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us answering all the questions about cosplay and telling us all the cool stuff that you've been doing.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
My
It's
pleasure.
been a long time, and starting us off on the right track with season 2 of
Thank
the We
you.
Only Do One Take podcast. It's been amazing.
Just
having
before
you
we
guys
wrap
on.
up,
Yeah.
I've got a challenge for you.
You got okay.
I've got a challenge. And
I've got a few shout outs to do too.
and I've got people here to back me up. I didn't keep a tally, and I should have.
Yeah.
But I'm banning you from saying the word like next week.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I do edit those out when I say it. So I'm pretty good at that.
Well, you've heard it here first.
See, that's the thing. They're going to listen to this podcast. Is going to be. I'm not going to say the word at all because I'm just going to edit them all out.
And then I'm going to sound like an idiot.
Yeah, that's right. Why do you screw yourself over so much?
And then you'll just edit that part and
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. And
Yeah.
then you'll keep repaying, you know,
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, and you go
Yeah.
and singing that song, whatever you're doing. It's great. But anyway, I was going to do a few shouts before we do that. I just want to say congratulations to Watsonia Bugle. They just celebrated Shark Week, and it was kick-ass.
It was kick-ass, yes.
And we also have to shout out to Nick Trash, who was a previous guest and good friend of the show, professional drummer extraordinaire of Dead City Ruins. His album with Dead City Ruins, Never Say Die, is released this Friday, the 13th of April. And everybody should not only get on it, but buy it because we want to send them back to Europe. They've got, I think, a purple vinyl of the album, which I think I'll have to pick up. I got their first vinyl, but this is the first one with, like, you know, I even messaged Trash today saying the drum sounds on the record, it sounds fucking cool, fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And
Kids might be listening. Please don't swear.
yeah, sure. So it was fucking cunting amazing, and he was amazing. So I can't wait to party with him.
And before we wrap up, if people want to find Heidi or Keenan.
Yeah, absolutely. So where can we find all the cool stuff that you're doing and saying, and all the swear words that you like to say, and all the rude jokes that you like to make?
Yeah,
You do use
you
those.
can.
I feel like singing that song by Blink 182 right now.
No.
For swear words
Which one?
reasons.
Oh, right, yes.
It's a weird way to bring up Blink 182. But anyway,
Yeah,
where can we
yeah.
No,
find
all
you?
I heard was swear words, and all I heard in my head was "fuck shit, piss."
So you can find me on either Facebook or Instagram
Yep.
at CJ. That's CEEJAY and the cosplay.
But if we just type that in on Facebook, type that in on Instagram, you'll pop up.
Yeah. and
Again, we'll link that on our.
see all my cool
Yeah.
shit.
That's where I've been watching and looking at all the cool stuff that Heidi's been making. And Heidi, where can we find you?
I've got mostly Facebook and Instagram is probably my main two. You can find me on Facebook at Heidzdee Cosplay, so HEIDZDEE, all one word, cosplay. Instagram, all one word, just Heidzdee.
Easy. It's as easy as that sometimes,
Fantastic.
Kieran.
Cool.
And if you would like to see us, again, if you know, like us on Facebook, we are the We Only Do One Take podcast. Just search for that. We've got a group as well. Check us out there. Join the group. The group is where we post even more ridiculous things. But you can see Kieran hit some golf balls from our latest game of golf,
Yeah, that's
which was incredible. Kieran got 14 holes in ones. It was amazing. And
The limp hand one.
You're like the new Greg Norman of this generation.
he is the shark.
Yeah,
There you go. You got a new
okay.
nickname. The shark. Great white.
I'm, you know, I don't really think about that. I just like to be with friends and play golf and, you know, make my millions.
So the voluptuous
Okay.
Kieran, thank you so much for another episode of the We Only Do One Take podcast. Perfect timing. You've got a mouthful of cheese. He's saying thank you and nodding, giving me the finger.
We never know how to finish this.
Oh, we
Like,
absolutely do.
With a mouthful of
thank
cheese.
you everyone for listening, and we will see you next Thursday. Always with the cheese in your mouth. There's always cheese in your mouth.
you always have to get me right then.
I wait
And
for
you're
it.
still recording.
I
know.
wait for it.
Before I forget, please tell me you saw the new trailer to Jason Statham's new movie.
No.
So it's about a megalodon shark being still alive, right?
Oh,
And it's
I
called
saw that.
it's called The Meg. Now I read that and thought, why couldn't it be a movie where it's Jason Statham versus a giant Meg Griffin? Because that would have been a great movie. It would have been a lot better than this movie they're coming out with. It's honestly just Jaws. It's literally Jaws, but with a giant shark. Well, bigger shark. It's like someone saw it, instead of saying we need a bigger boat, we need a bigger shark.
Everyone should just fight Sharknado again.
I love Sharknado.
Yes.